Welcome back, Star Wars Vintage fans, subscribers. What I got here is the Micro Series, Micro Collection Vintage Millennium Falcon. Now, I've gone through a couple of these playsets from the Micro Collection. I've done the Best Man and the Hoth ones, but this is the first vehicle I'm looking at, and this is a Falcon. And this is an absolute beautiful, beautiful piece. I'm selling this one shortly, so while I got it in the hand, I thought I'd do a quick review, show it off, tell you what it came with, and yeah, tell you how much I like it, like I do with most toys. So this is, like I said, the Micro Collection Falcon. It's just a miniature version of the 3 3/4 inch they made. Now it's absolutely so well done. It's beautiful attention to detail. Like the top is just amazing. I actually prefer. I reckon it looks nicer than the actual 3 3/4 inch Falcon. It's such a nice piece. It's got very similar traits from the outside top gun. This one's also got a bottom gun, unlike the 3 3/4 inch. And it's got the radar dish. It's got an opening cockpit. Or actually, it doesn't have an opening cockpit. It kind of, it does kind of pop off when you get the top. I'll show you guys in a second. So it's got a big kind of top, similar to the 3 3/4 inch. It kind of clips in. It's got a couple of different ways you can clip it in. There's a big clip at the back, which is started off, and that holds it in place. But unfortunately, there's no little clip for the smuggler's thing, and there is no smuggler's hatch. So that's the only thing missing from this. But it's got something else. So anyway, inside, it's got a little turret kind of thing where you can hold the figure goes hand or Luke goes in there to shoot and move the bottom and top turrets. So as you can see, as you move that blue thing, the turrets on top and bottom move. So very similar with the play sets. They're not massively playable. They've got a couple of little quirks to them, which is really, really cool in all the play sets and in this one particularly. And it's got nice stickers on the inside, outside. Lovely looking thing. Now, very similar to the vintage. Instead of going up into it, they all clip to the side, the landing gears. But the only problem is, if you put the landing gear down, you can't really rest this one because you've got the bottom gun. You can take the gun off, but you put pressure on that bottom gun if you take the landing gear off. Put the landing gear up, so I always have it down, landed in landed mode. So if you do have to pop it down for a second, you can just quickly not ruin that sort of underside turret gun. Now it's also got a very similar ramp to the 3 3/4 inch, but it doesn't have struts on the side. It's just on a little sort of clip with a bar kind of thing. It's not really much of a hinge. That is quite prone to breaking. I might just pop that out now, just so I don't have an incident while we're on things. So that's got not much to it. That's actually unfortunately got a broken side rail on this one here, but that's alright. And the little clip. The clip is the most important thing. The part of the Falcon isn't broken because that's hard to replace. You can always get one of them here and there. That's a lot harder to replace. So yeah, like I said, look, it's really, really beautifully done. Now the other little gimmick with this is, actually I haven't spoken about the figures that come with it. That's probably quite important too. So you got R2-D2. This one comes with 6 little mini die-cast figures. So you got R2-D2, pretty cool. You got Chewie holding a wrench or a hydro spanner of some form. You got Han, just with a gun in a little bit of a semi-squat position. And I just added a chip to that one. C-3PO, just kind of chilling. Then you got Lando putting up his arm, and I'll tell you what he's doing. He's signaling Luke. He's saying, Luke's hanging off the top of Bespin and come to us. And this is a one-handed Luke hanging from the top of the Cloud City, those the weird things he hangs from after he goes through the trapdoor in ESP. So that's Luke, and he actually kind of leans on. This is probably puts a lot of chips on him, but you can actually kind of have him. I used to do that. Have him hanging on Lando's arm, which is up, because Lando kind of carries him down in the movie. So that's pretty cool. But there's an actual feature in this thing you can do. So you put Lando in here. I'm not going to do it because I'll probably end up dropping the figure for the 50th time. But you're supposed to put Lando in this little hatch here, and it goes up here, and that's the section from ESP when Lando gets put up through. Like Lando has like a hook in his arm, and he pulls some little clasp, and it goes and opens up, and that's where he shoots out from to save Luke. So it's kind of cool. I'm not going to do it because I just don't want to drop him, but he goes in there and comes up out of the Falcon to save Luke from the Cloud City. He's hanging on the Cloud City. So it's very kind of true to the vehicles in this line with, like they've got a couple of little bits and pieces they do. They've got like the sounds and stuff. For the turrets, you've got the elevator, and like I said, the cockpit. It kind of pops out as opposed to being on a hinge. It's on 2 little kind of plastic cast out of the same windscreen, like transparent plastic, and it kind of pops in. There's two little holes on the cockpit kind of ground section. So yeah, look, I think it's an absolute little stunner of a display piece, and the beauty of this is the Falcon, 3 3/4 inch Falcon, is a behemoth of a vehicle. You know, it's a monster. It's very deep. It doesn't fit in a lot of cabinets. And it's one of those things that gets a lot of dust on it. So I don't like to have like vintage toys outside of a cabinet because they just get all those nooks and crannies. You've got to dust them all the time. And that's a really hard one to keep under glass. Sure, there's some big acrylics, but they're big, as the vehicle is. So it's a really hard one to store, display. This is absolutely spectacular because it's a little beauty, eh? I'll put that little clip back in. I won't clip it in all the way, but it's a little ripper of a vehicle. It's so detailed and well made. Like it's perfectly, stunningly done, really. Like, it's gorgeous, and you can display that really nicely up on a back shelf, and even in the back of your 3 3/4 inch, and it just looks like it's in the background, similar to what I was speaking of with the Hoth Ion Cannon. You can kind of nestle it in the background, and it looks like it's in the distance, and the detail on it is phenomenal. So for me, I love this vehicle. There's only a handful of vehicles, X-Wing, Snowspeeder and TIE Fighter and the Falcon in this line, and this is, I believe, clearly the best. It's just so much effort has gone into the detailing of this. It's absolutely beautiful. It's hard to actually, you got to kind of see it in person to realize how much effort they've gone to making that perfect. It's so nice. Honestly, 10 out of 10. If you collect a micro collection, you must have this simply. If you're a big fan of the Falcon and you don't have this item, have a look at it, man. It can be pretty pricey to get complete. This one's in really nice condition. Just trying to think what's wrong with it. The only real thing that's wrong with it is a couple of the figures got some chips, and it's that side rail of the ramp, which is quite easily replaced. It's probably a $34 part. Has broken off. So, but once you clip it in, it's hidden anyway. But this is actually a really nice one. So they can be pretty pricey, but that one's a ripper. And honestly, I would highly recommend that if you're a Falcon fan, ESB fan, micro collection. If you collect the micros, you must own this simply. It's that good. They don't come up, really nice condition like this too often. And these figures are pretty good. They've got a few paint chips on them, but they're not too bad. Like these are kind of sort of maybe C8 condition, not mint or anything like that, but only a few chips. So these are quite nice. But yeah, honestly, have a look at this. If you don't know much about it, or you're, like I said, a Falcon or a micro fan, please have a look into this item. It's so nice. I'm giving this 10 out of 10. I prefer this to the 3 3/4 inch Falcon. For me, size and space is a massive factor, and this is just a pocket rocket, man. Like pound for pound, UFC, they talk about pound for pound fighters and whatnot. Pound for pound, this is probably one of the most spectacular Star Wars vintage toys ever made. So like I said, I had to show you this, guys. It's a 10, honestly. It's so nice. And you can even, I've seen people suspend this from, I don't know how the hell they do it, fishing wire or something, suspend it in the air, and it looks magnificent. Even from the underside, it looks so good. It's so well done. I can't speak more highly of this item than I'm speaking of this right now. It's brilliant. But, what's better than this? What's better than one micro collection Falcon is two micro collection Falcons, you see? So two is always better than one, right? So have another one here right now. And you're thinking, this one's even probably in better condition, right? You're thinking, why is this tool bloody been to show off when he's got two? Well, I'm actually showing you a variation to this one, to this particular release. So this is actually the Australian Toltoys version. So this was released in Australia. I think it's the third release of the micro collection Falcon. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an absolute guru in this, but this is a beautiful Australian piece. So, like I said, it's from out externally, looks the same as the other one. I haven't taken the bottom ramp off that yet, but it's more or less identical to the US international release, right? From the outside, it's hard to tell, but there is one tell. If you look at the cockpit / windscreen, whatever you want to call it, I'll do stills. I'll do close-up stills of these, overlay them somewhere in the video feed here. But if you look at the difference there, the US and everywhere else in the world received a painted windscreen. So it's got lines painted, kind of making little mini window kind of things. The grooves are for it in this one, but it's unpainted. So that's the Australian version. That's one. And then there's the other main thing, and it's a really very cool difference. Just let me get this lid off. I don't think I clipped it all the way. Yeah, cool. So I believe the tops are the same. The lids. Did I clip that in all the way? No. You just got to be super careful. It's got like a clip. The main clip is a big thing with like a jagged edge to clip it in. If you're not careful, I've seen a couple of them break. You got to be super careful. You be super careful with anything vintage, but things like this, even more so. So like I said, this is the US. It's a very cool difference. See if you can pick it up from without a zoom in. So have a look. What do you reckon? I'll do some close-ups. Like I said, I'll pop them up maybe in that corner where I'm not having a toy at the moment. But if you look at those cockpits, the blue section, the Australian one in my right hand here, has got a little staircase that leads from the cockpit floor, the cockpit and the cockpit floor, to the Falcon. Whereas the other one, it's like a flat staircase kind of thing. It's got little lines which kind of supposed to mimic stairs, but it's not actually three-dimensional, you know, cascading stairs. So massive difference. Super cool variant. Not too many people know about it. I mean, a lot of people do, but not your average collector probably wouldn't even think twice of there being a variant of the Micro Collection Falcon, but that's it there, and it's super cool. I'm selling both of these guys really soon. I just wanted to have, it's not often I get both in hand. I don't own one, unfortunately I don't have space, whilst it is small. I don't own one of these, but it's not often I have both in my hand, so what a perfect time to do a bit of a comparison video and show you how cool this item is, and just that little Australian difference with the cockpit and the cockpit colours, unpainted and painted, and also the staircase that leads from the cockpit to the Falcon's sort of main floor. So just stunning items. Both the US and the Australian ones are just beautiful pieces. It's hard to find. I think it's the best vintage Falcon released. I believe there's only two. There might be. I think there's only two. But I believe this is better than 3 3/4 inch personally. They put a lot of effort into it. They didn't half-ass it and just throw it out there to make some money. That's done beautifully. And unfortunately, this line wasn't a massive smash hit because it was, I don't know, it was either not playable enough or it didn't mesh with all the 3 3/4 inch that already pushed out to millions of people worldwide. So yeah, it didn't go down too well. Hence, there's no near handful of Playsets and 4 vehicles. Hang on, 4 vehicles. Yes, I can count. So yeah, had to show you guys, man. What do you guys think? You got it? You want it? What do you think of the Toltoys one? How cool is that little difference? Anyway, if I've missed something, let me know. If you want to know more, let me know. If you got any kind of comment, please. I love talking toys. Any comment, shoot me a message, whatever you like, man. I'm here all day, every day to talk toys, and I love it. So I thought I'd show you this one off to you guys. The Micro Collection Vintage Millennium Falcon, US, and Toltoys versions. So bloody cool. Please, have a look at them if you haven't, if you don't know much about them, or you've got everything vintage and you think you've got everything vintage and you want to spend some money, get these guys, man. They're so cool. Thanks for watching, guys. My content's not going to stop. I've got a ton more of Star Wars vintage to show you guys. I haven't really even looked at the figures yet. I've mostly focused on playsets and vehicles because I've had so many in my hands. So I went through most of them, but rifling through some micros, I will get to the figures. And obviously, as you know, there's 96 of them. You got variants, you got international, this, that. I can go for bloody 20 years talking about vintage figures, and I still don't know all of it, obviously, myself. So hey, look, if you like this content, like it, pop a comment in here, something, let me know. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. The content's not going to stop. Educational stuff, fun stuff. I've got a ton of competitions coming up. I'm about to hit a milestone with subscribers and viewing hours, so that's going to open something up for me, which is going to get me doing a lot of giveaways. So I'm going to give away some bloody cool stuff. I'm not giving away $20 beaters. I'll be giving away some beastie stuff. So only way to get into that is subscribe my channel right now, guys, please, if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Star Wars, Transformers, He-Man, G.I. Joe, whatever. It's all coming your way, guys. Thank you very much.